Okay, let's get on with the last one, sheet for the prelims. Okay, question number 1. Okay, the question tells us first of all we have to solve the equation x squared minus 6x minus 27 equals 0. So we're going to solve that by factorising into two brackets. Then each bracket is going to give me an x number. Now these x numbers that you've just found, they tell you where the graph crosses the x-axis. Okay, x-axis, y-axis. Once you've got those, then you can work out the midpoint, which will give you the line of symmetry. Now remember, the line of symmetry is written as x equals. Once you've got the line of symmetry, then if you want to work out what the turning point is, then you need to put this answer back in to this equation up the top. And then the last thing you have to find is where it crosses the y-axis. That's probably the easiest bit. You get that from the question, so you know it crosses here. Once you've done all of that, you can join all these points up to make a curve. Remember to tell me if it's a maximum or a minimum turning point. Question 2, area of a triangle. Now we know the area of a triangle formula is a half AB sine C, or a half times the side, which is 10, times the side, which is 12, times sine. Now unfortunately we don't have an angle this time, but we do know from the question that sine A is equal to 4 over 5. So that means we just put that in here, 4 over 5. Don't put the sign in, just the actual fraction. All you've got to do now is work out that fraction. So what's half of 10? Times that by 12, and then work out 4/5 of it for the final answer. Question 3. Right, we've got this diagram for question 3. It's a hexagon. We know that to get from F up to B, you go B, and you know to get from F up to A, you go A. Tells you in the question. Now the first one you have to find is how do you get from A to B? So A to B means you go along that top line. However, we don't have any letters on the top line, so we need to think of another route. So instead of going straight across here, what you could do is you could come down this one to get to F, and then go up that sloping one until you get to B. So if you come down this one, you're going in the opposite direction to A, so that's negative A, and then you're going positive B. So A to B is negative A, add B. Or if you want to be the positive number first of all, B minus A. Next one, what's F to O? Well, here is F, here is O, so we're going across here. Oh, look, it's just the same as that one. So F to O, will just be the same answer. And you just build up the rest of the answers the same way. How do you get from A to O? I could go direct, but I don't know what that is. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to do a wee bit of work. So what do? I can come down here again, negative A, and then go along here. I know the answer for this one, could have just worked it out. And similarly for F to D, first of all we need to put our D in, it's down here. So F to D would be easiest if you went, here's F. F to D would be easiest if you went along here and down there. Fortunately we don't know what that is. Okay, but we do know what this is. We've just worked this one out. So we could use this one, A to O, so we do F to O, which we've got here, and then add this one on to get your final answer. So just basically build up your answers using A's and B's. Question 4 is a standard form question, but you have to do it without a calculator. Notice it's a non-calculator, so please don't just write the answer down and say, look at me, I'm great, I've done the answer. Okay, So we're going to do this number here times this number here. Now what we're going to make use of is our laws of indices, because we know what we can do with the powers when we times. So I'm going to do 2.3 times 1.5. Well, I'm going to do that calculation. That's going to give me my first number, times 10. And as I've just said, you know what you do with the powers when you multiply. So whatever that is, that's going to be the new power there. Question 5. Remove the brackets. Don't think I really need to say much about this one, guys, do I? I think we know what we're doing with them. Okay, pick 2. Most people pick the last 2. So you do x times x times, you do all that stuff. And then you do x minus 2 times that answer, so on and so on and so on. When we can do this, get your answer. Just be careful with the signs. That's the important bit. Be careful with the signs. Question 6. This was the one last week that we got a wee bit wrong again because of the signs. So please be careful of the signs. So we'll have this situation here, 4 over 3 take away 3 minus y over 1. So we get the new bottom number, that's easy. Right, we just do the 3 times the y minus the 1. Then we need to worry about the new top number. So we do 4 times this, 4 times y minus 1, and then we do 3 times this, 3 minus y. But notice there's a takeaway sign between them. So when you come to do the calculation, 4 times y minus 1, it's take away 3 times 3 minus y. Now just be very, very careful, because this negative 3 here times this negative y is going to give you a positive answer. Question 7 is the sign rule. It's a calculator question. Now, I've given you far too much information that you need here. We only need the top triangle, guys. We know this is 7.1. We know this is 95. And we know this is 37. And we are asked to find the length of this side here. So we're going to do 7.1 over sine, this number. Oh, we didn't have that. However, if that's 95 and that's 37, we can work out what this number is. So we can put that in there is equal to the x that you're trying to find divided by sine 37. How am I going to get the answer? This here is going to pop over to this side, and I get x equals 7.1 over sine, whatever that angle was, times sine 37. Nice and easy. Lastly, number 8, save the best to last. Nice wee doddle for you to finish off with. So work out x bar by finding the average. So 94, add 98, add 100, add 101, add 102, divided by 5. Right, you can do that in your calculator. Set up your wee table, x, x bar, x minus x bar, x minus x bar squared. Remember, some of these numbers here are going to be negative, and when you square them, every single one of these numbers is positive. And then to finish the question off, let me just make that a wee bit weird so I've got some space. Oh, well, Mario, you need to move. Out of the way, son. You don't want to go today? Why are you not going? Right, Mario's not going. So, to find the standard deviation, you do the square root of this answer here, divided by, and it's 1 minus all these numbers. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers here. 5 take away 1, you're going to divide that by 4. Do the divide sum, do the square root. Nice easy answer. Okay, that's us.